With the entrepreneurship conversation, we're now joined by Mark Karake, who is the CEO and founder of Impact Africa Network, our startup studio in Nairobi. His mission is to ensure young, talented Africans have a chance at participating in the digital transformation of Africa as creators and owners. And Mark, you have a wide experience when it comes to dealing with startups, starting, for close to 15 years. Tell us what you're doing in the world of startup initially.
Yeah, I spent 15 years in Silicon Valley, like you mentioned, and I had a front row seat at seeing how innovations are brought to market and what it takes to actually build companies. And so a couple of years ago, I decided to make the move back home because it was very obvious that we were on the cusp of really missing out on the digital scramble for Africa, which is happening right now. So yeah, that's my background.
Definitely. Yeah. You're talking of digital scramble for Africa, and looking at Kenya in the African context, we seem to be pretty ahead, or we tend to see ourselves as pretty ahead in terms of digital innovation and steps that you've made.
Yeah, go ahead.
But are we missing something, or are we on the right path?
I would say that that is true. We are the high watermark in the region in terms of an ecosystem. And when I say an ecosystem, I mean a concentration of talent and resources and technology platforms that can allow us to develop innovations that can be regionally dominant. So from that perspective, yes. We have talent, we have the capabilities, we have resources, we have a population that is comfortable with technology. So those are all the first order contributors that you need to actually build that. What's missing is the know-how and the mindset and the capital.
Definitely.
Right? So those three things are what Silicon Valley has excelled at. They know how to take ideas and commercialize them. Right? The commercialization process is missing. And so that is a big gap.
Definitely. Yeah. And a gap that needs to be filled. Definitely. You're doing something in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, I decided to make the move back here a couple of years ago and immerse myself in bridging that gap. And after some months of just doing experiments and research, we landed on a concept where we believe is custom built for our ecosystem, our culture, our structural issues that we might have. So what we do is we provide an innovation fellowship to college graduates and work with them basically in terms of developing companies, moving from idea to traction. That whole process of, okay, I have an idea, but what do I need to do? So nobody comes out of school knowing that. Even somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't know how to do that, but when he went to Silicon Valley, he found the people who could actually help him do that. Definitely. So basically, we are creating the same structure for our young people so that they can actually develop the capacity, the know-how, and by actually doing it, as opposed to, hearing about it or just talking about it.
Yeah, and you've spoken about school, which is very important, and it's a huge part of every person's life. We spend quite a number of years in school. And the question is, how come we haven't found a way of integrating some of those things? You're speaking about, turning an idea into something tangible. Is this something that can be incorporated in our education sector?
It can, but you see, what you're talking about is a ship that it's very difficult to turn a ship quickly. And that's what education system is. So the world is moving very fast right now, right? And so I would say that we're obviously in the fourth industrial revolution. It's a very different time, very different pace of change. And so how does the education system catch up with this? Can we do it? Of course it can be done. Anything is possible. But it's not as easy as that because you're talking about entrenched structures, mindsets, even staff, even everything is kind of geared in a certain direction. How do you shift that in this direction? I think betting on that's more of a 10, 15-year journey, I would say, to actually get to something that can start to yield results in the education sector. What's happening right now in the world is, even internationally, education is changing. And so it is not just educational institutions that need to scale people up or deliver the knowledge. So for example, we see ourselves as an education institution. So we need new ways of solving the same old problem of enabling people to participate in the world as productive entrepreneurs, citizens, professionals, right?
Yes.
So that's
Definitely. And closing up briefly, of course, there might be a young person who's watching, saying, I have this brilliant idea and I might need that, structure to be able to, make it tangible. How can they get hold of you?
Yeah, you can go to impactafrica.network. That's our website. Actually, on the 5th of March, we have an event at the University of Nairobi at the Chandaria Center for Performing Arts. We're going to we have a bunch of guests speaking about how we can actually bridge the gap.
Yes.
So this conversation needs to continue happening. We need to get people around the table, around conference rooms, just like they're doing in Machakos.
Definitely.
So they can go to impactafrica.network, learn about the conference, and attend the conference as a start.
Get to participate. Thank you very much, Mark.